Hello, everybody, boys and germs. Thanks for coming in for the brand new episode of the Leon the Great podcast. So, before we begin, I want to just go ahead and give you a word of today's sponsor, and today's sponsors is Zenny. Zenny, if you've not heard of Zenny before, Zenny it is a product line of glasses and has different shapes of different frames that anybody can use. I love Zennies because I use it a lot uh for using the computer all the time. And when you're working all the time in front of the screen, it tends to be very stressful. And that's what one thing about Zennies I like the most is that it protects your eyes from long term use. And if you're like me that spends about 2 to 3 hours or more on the computer, you know that it is very stressful to uh to even focus on, and your eyes are pretty much bloodshot. That's one thing about Zennies that protects me the most is the fact that you um are protected, and with their special anti-blue light anti-blue light prescription glasses or non-prescription glasses. And that's one of the best things about Zennies. Though it was given to me from a friend and I tried Zennies on, it's helped me out for weeks and weeks on end, and to me I haven't felt a bit of weakness in my eyes since. And I love it a lot too, and especially when you are hardcore down into streaming. This is perfect for anybody that is streaming for full time, and if you want to use Zennies to help you out for your gaming needs, and if you're a pro gamer, they have glasses for you as well. And I that's one of the things I like about Zennies. Go ahead, check them out. I'll have the affiliate link down below, and you can check out Zennies from here too. Next on the list is Blueberry. A Blueberry and Podbeam on the list. These are the two providers I use a lot, and Podbeam is no exception. I love Podbeam. I use it all the time for podcasting, and having to go through podcasting for the first time within a month podcasting, I love it. I think it is great, and I think it's something that I recommend for anyone trying to get away from the freemium um, zone and get on with paid features that will help you out, boost your content out. And I think it is one of the best things that you can do is get your podcast on Podbeam. Podbeam has been around in the game for a very long time in the podcasting space, around 2006. I recommend checking out Podbeam for posting up for your next podcast production. And if you're working on a podcast series or episode just like I am, it is worth your while. And Blueberry does a phenomenal job as well. Blueberry is something I've used as well for collecting statistics, where my users are coming from, where are my listeners coming, and that is one of the best things about Blueberry as well. The hosting is great. I use it for Blueberry for statistic reasons, and I think they've done a great job on collecting on statistics. Now they have different things for different people that wherever it floats your boat. If you are just a small podcaster, they will help you out. For small podcaster, professional podcasters, they will help you out as well too. So they have different things for different needs as well. So if you have a business that you do, especially for professional podcasting each and every week, that is something that you want to go ahead and do. And check out Blueberry for their prices and subscriptions for all your needs. So with that said, I definitely want to go ahead and say to everybody before I begin the show, happy start of the holidays. Let's begin. Hey everybody. Leon back finally doing another podcast series. And as those that may not know, I've been out for a month, not been able to do a podcast, and I'm finally back. And for good or for not so good reasons. I've had my reasons to go and divorce myself out from podcasting for some time, and plus, there was times I wanted to get back into it, get back on the flow, right? But you are talking about the holidays, how extremely important that you have to keep up with uh, things in your life, family in your life, and God, it can be hard to handle and very very recent. It's been um a nut a nutshell for me having to deal with family and at the same time dealing with so many projects along the way, and that's where I'm at now. As of very recent, uh a fellow friend of mine, by the name of Be It Me Not You, or aka Michael J. Burgess, that I've been working around with for a couple weeks now, and we are doing a blog, collaborating in a blog together. So he is the founder of Bots on the Go. I'm the co-founder. I write a lot of the main articles, and that's what we both are doing right now. So I wanted to mention that. So we talk about what's going on in the automation bots, the world of bots, what's going on, and each and every week we post everything up. Which I have to say that we both try, because I know a lot of the times the what gets us winded up is, well, the time zones. And one of the things I would say about collaborating with somebody that's overseas, it's though I'm actually kind of glad I live in the East Coast and not over in the West, because that would be hard to deal with someone so far away. And in a sense, I have to say though, at least it's just 5 hours apart, instead of just 9 hours apart, which would be hell of challenging to deal with that. But I'm actually kind of glad, very honestly, an East Coaster like me working with somebody over in the UK time zone, and I'm very very glad to do the majority of the writing, get some articles done. I've only done 3. There are going to be more articles on the way, which by next year, by January, we're going to have more postings, more blogs coming right in, which I love the project that we've done so far. We've done 3 postings as of late, which I've liked about that too. So there's gonna be more on the way, like I've said. So expect that, and I'll have the link down below. And our website is called Bots on the Go. We help people how to set up bots, manuals, different things like that too. And especially that's keeping me busy. Then the other thing I've been working on, just to get on the subject on blogs, which for me, I've been working on my own blog and say, let me get blog postings up and see where I can go with this too. So, and I've been working on my blog because it's been way too long, and to me, having to work on a subject once a week will do me well, and spend time in the mornings writing. And that's something, a goal I'm pushing in. And to me, I think one of the worst things when it comes to scheduling is that having to sleep late at night when there's no need to do that. And that's where I kind of learned to get back in the habit and sleeping early than late. And that's one of the things I loved about blogging, is that you can express yourself out when in a length of time. Unlike podcasting, it's good for listeners to hear what you have to say and get to the point, right? And with blogging, it's even though it's a more wordy medium, but it's cool to get yourself out there and get your opinions out and what you have to say, even if it's not opinions. Besides, every independent writer and independent writer, blogger, or professional journalist, there's potential right now, and plus it'll help you earn a living too. Plus, I wanted to get my website up and probably get and tell you the truth, get my get more AdSense collected through my blog. And plus, there's so many people visiting right now too. And when I made about 2 blog posts from that week, I was pretty stunned how many people came and checked out the website, right? And it's pretty cool. It was pretty cool, I've got to say. I've loved the fact that you've got people visiting and checking out the website, even if you don't expect people to come. There's people out there coming into your website and checking it out, and with the key phrases I was using for recent video, I was talking about a video on YouTube and checking. If you guys not heard about this video, in fact, this video is called Dystopian, by a director called Zachary Denman. And how I found him out was I found him through recommendations. I loved the series, and to me, there are so much things that even if you don't like science fiction like I do, it's actually really good to check it out because Zachary Denman has done a fantastic job with the series and showing what this pandemic is really, really about. And for you guys that don't know, I think this is definitely opening people's eyes to what this is. And to me, I've been here at home for months and months on end. I will tell you, I don't think it is as bad as what the media says. But man, there are tons of truth coming out right there too. Though, and say what you want, say well about me, but I don't see myself as conspiratorial, as a conspiracy theorist. And funny enough, I've had a streamer calling me out as like, ooh, who you are, a conspiracy theorist, right? But I think what people don't understand about how people label, if you are thinking differently now, and if you're someone that doesn't think what the media is thinking, then you're kind of called something, right? And I kind of got a rude connotation, and it was really, really stupid. But I think it's worth checking out Dystopian. I'll have the playlist down below so you guys can check it out as well, and especially my blog written about Zachary Denman, 2 my blogs actually. So the most recent one was mental health, and the other one, it was about Zachary Denman's work, which I pretty much lay down everything from there too. Now the latest video just came out, and I actually have to watch it again because my gosh, I haven't been too focused on watching so much YouTube videos because, let's just put it this way, the holidays and the stress is getting on to me. Yeah, but I'll definitely get more into details further on what I've been up to. Now, I do want to go ahead and bring up a topic. Now, it is pretty much a big deal as of right now, and I can't believe the explosion, what's going on in the crypto world. As of right now, Bitcoin, as of this week, soared into a new historic high this week, 23K. And oh my God, what a time to be alive to see the number shooting up to 23K on worth of Bitcoin. Take a look at that too. I think I think everyone that didn't own Bitcoin years ago, man, they are just in tears now, that regretting that didn't get into it much earlier. And I have to say, this is exciting. Now the investors that in Wall Street and everyone else looking at Bitcoin are taking this seriously. And this tells you right there, this is something I will tell everybody, and I will tell everybody here in the show. And if everyone's wondering, is it too late to buy? I say no, it is not too late to buy. And in people's perspective, they think they have to buy one full Bitcoin, and to do that, to me, I say you don't have to buy one full Bitcoin. That's a total myth. You don't have to buy the full set of Bitcoin. You can just buy fractions of Bitcoin, put that in a wallet that you created, and just let that let it collect over time too, because that's one thing people are afraid. It's just they are just afraid to get into it and not experiment, and that's why I feel that people just don't know what to do, and they have to have some sort of guidance, and if you want to find out how to create a Bitcoin wallet, look, there's tons of tutorials over up on YouTube. I'm not even going to explain it on my podcast, because the fact is that there's so many tutorials out there too. You can just find it. And plus, the having to make more money on true crypto than the U.S. currency as of right now. The U.S. currency, as of now, is just going to start to depreciate more and more. While you look at Bitcoin, that's now. Let me check on the charts over here, which right now it is pretty much bouncing between 22K and 23K. Which that is something right here too. So yeah, so right now it is 23, 20 over 23K right as of right now, but still it is still awesome. And we're not just talking just BTC, Ethereum, Tether, Litecoin, Link Chain. That's something everybody should get down to. And if you're not down on the cryptos, you're missing out. And I will tell all my listeners is that do not listen to what people say. Look, I would test out what coins are potential. I have some cryptos. I own a few cryptos in my portfolio. So for me, I tell anybody, go buy the cryptos first. Try it out. And if you have to, learn how to stake. Learn how to mine Bitcoins. Get some hardware for it. And so that way you can start mining early than having to mine late. Because if you mine when it's high on price, you're not going to get much. Let's be honest. And sometimes you want to just mine when the value drops. That's where you want to go on BTC. And now, however, is mining worth it? I'd say yes, it is. Now, the hardware, I say it is very, very expensive. It does cost to get the hardware, assemble it yourself, all that right there too. And however, too, the one thing I would say about mining, why I may not recommend to many is because of cost of electricity. Because to order to pay for electricity, you have to pay it through your fiat currency. So that's one of the things I would say that's makes it not much of an investment. But if you have to go through staking, in fact, I am looking into things like Cake DeFi, which is something you just put a little bit of your cryptos and then watch it grow from there too. And I'm actually looking into signing up and getting myself on the lines with Cake. I think Cake is actually really cool thing to experiment to see where this goes. And I want to sign up with Cake and have it right out of the way, because 2021, a brand new year, and so many people are blind and thinking that the US dollar is going to continue to survive. And I disagree. I disagree completely. You've got to look at the bright side. The US dollar over time is depreciating faster and faster, while cryptos, gold, silver, they're going up, going really, really high. And to me, right now is the best time to get on the cryptos and get right on it, because you're going to miss out more and more. And I think it'd be foolish for anybody not to jump into this space and just wait until some dude catches on to you too. And And if you're the last in line, way too bad. Because right now, so much news taking place, and so many people aren't even talking about it. And in fact, I know a lot of people's minds. I mean, there's so much news going on. We got the crypto news, the COVID-19 vaccines coming around the corner, so on and so forth, too. Because I haven't been able to catch up because the family and holidays that's been catch up on my mind. And then also the other day, I was working on a brand new build for a friend. So that's what's been going on in my world as of right now. So so here's what I'll put it this way too. And I know that the food shortages is pretty much of a big deal. That's where a lot of people are afraid right now. And even though, especially how people are afraid where next year is going to come to them too, I know that there's a lot of hardworking people are just jumping, collecting paychecks week after week, and trying to save much dollars they can. While people don't know that that dollar that they've been saving and saving will no longer be worthwhile anymore too. And you got Bitcoin that's going to be rising and rising. In fact, I'm going to be mining on my personal PC and just get that out there, because otherwise, that's right there. We are seeing now a recipe for disaster coming next year. It's starting to get real bad economically. And however, do I see people are starting to use more bitcoins? Hopefully, I hope they do. I really hope they do start using it, because definitely we're getting into some hard times right now too. Even though the channel is mostly for technology, and to me, I'm going to get into some technology news, processor news, but I wanted to get into the topics that I know by heart right now too, because there's so much to dwell onto too. I mean, first of all, 23K, a new historic high, which is absolutely unheard of in the history of Bitcoin, as what you can see right now on 2020. And let's say for me, if I have gone into Bitcoin around when it started around 2009, between 2009 and 2010, and collected all the way past 10 years, I would have been making lots of money going and making Bitcoin, and it would have been huge. Now, I started very late when Bitcoin climbed up to 13K. So that tells me right there that I missed out since the beginning. But anyone out there, that it's not too late. A lot of people are getting onto it too. In fact, there's tons of smart people out there getting onto it too, while so many of other people are out there working, collecting the paycheck. And that currency and the amount of that money is going to be wiped out. Who knows if next year will happen? Because I know we're already on the coming into Joe Biden's administration on January 20th or 22nd, I believe. The new transition from Trump to Joe Biden. But that's where we are at as of now. Now, there is no way to predict that over in Joe Biden's administration or in his favor, how much he's going to do much damage to people that are involved with Bitcoin, right? Because I know for some reason, the Trump administration could have had regulated Bitcoin throughout his administration, but he didn't. And however, with Joe Biden's administration, I know that there's going to be tons of regulation going in his favor right now, and which with what Trump has cut off right there on under Trump's watch, with so many regulations being cut, now we're seeing things 180 degrees switching over on Biden's favor. So who knows what it's going to be. Now, one of the things with the Bitcoin community, what I've listened to, I know where they're talking about right now is if if they are gonna end up putting all these restriction KYC, know your customers, and what they're gonna do with crypto. And I do think it's gonna be correct that even in Biden's favor, there's gonna be tons of regulations and much more restrictions on Bitcoin, which I fairly disagree. And I'm sure that there's tons of people like myself, very much technically libertarian minded, that are not very much in the favor of what's going to be over in Biden's favor. And for me, I would agree. And if so happens, I would say, uh, get off of Dodge if anything else. Sure. And I'm thinking at this point, will they may end up doing is stopping people from purchasing crypto? That's a good possibility. I will say that too. And I know that the use of crypto has already been banned recently in Russia and India as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if many of these first world countries will end up going and going out there and outlawing Bitcoin. So that's one thing I will say about the Biden's administration that will be a possible factor into it too. So yeah, there's that. And also, speaking of Bitcoin, while I'm on the subject, Bitcoin is this week there was a news, especially with Argentina, that since I know their pesos is not even worth much anymore too, with the currency devalued so much over the years already, and since they've gone through a crash since 2001, and now with Argentina, they're now a lot of people in Argentina are looking into cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and I think it's fantastic to see so many people getting into the a crypto because they know what's up. They really know that these people want to get away from the pesos, which the pesos is not doing so well. What it currently is right now. If I have to be pretty much honest, where it is going, the state of Argentina, it's pretty much bankrupt, and it hasn't done such a great job economically in a very long time too. And it wouldn't really surprise me to a point that the currency here in the U.S., the U.K., Australia will end up devaluing so badly that their currencies won't really be worth a damn. And let's not forget Canada, of places like that too. Because let's be real, with more of the regulations put in, you know that digital currencies are just going to skyrocket, no doubt, especially with precious metals along the way. So, and that said, and now I do have a article that's right there in the street.com, in which I thought the headline was actually real interesting. Reading just the headline, it's on its own. To me, it wouldn't surprise me by the time 2021 hits and comes and goes. What it says in the headline, how Bitcoin can rally to 30,000. To me, this wouldn't surprise me. This whole news, look, we've already seen 23K right now. By next year, I would already see this going up much further by next year of January. To me, by a weakening dollar comes with a strengthening cryptocurrency. That's how it all comes down to it too. Because if you have a weak economy, the dollar is not going to be that great. Just to put it bluntly, it won't. It just won't. And in the headline, it says how Bitcoin can rally to 30,000. And I'm going to read word by word over here, which says here, Bitcoin remains red hot while the cryptocurrency was fiat on Friday. Bulls have to be happy with the way it's holding up. For a volatile asset like Bitcoin, the word fiat isn't often used to describe its price action, but that's what we have on Friday after a 9.9% rally on Wednesday and other 6.8 gain on Thursday. The move set Bitcoin to an all-time high. And just to cut this short right there too. Yeah, I I do agree with this paragraph over here, stating this as it is. It's gonna continue to rise. For a while, I've been kind of doubtful with Bitcoin after I would say about 5 years ago, and the last time I remember the first time Bitcoin went to its highest was 13K, and then dipped very very badly when it was low down to 3K, and now as people already are seeing too, and I feel bad for those people that didn't see this coming. Will know that they would have been like, "Oh, I should have gone there at time." And that's why, as of I myself, that's holding like one Litecoin, I will not sell my Litecoin. Period. I'm gonna collect this and continue to collect it probably once Litecoin goes up to 200, and that I can see. I can really see that happening, being the case for next year, and that's where it's gonna go. Many of those cryptocurrencies are gonna skyrocket, and who knows? Who knows? I'm gonna get more Monegro, um, Ethereum. Hopefully, I can get it before 1K. We will see. We just gotta watch the markets real closely as it goes on too as well. Oh, and I forgot to mention here too. And after the time of this recording, and after a couple days later, after 23K of Bitcoin, 2 weeks ago, I have to say, and I have to say this straight out. I think Peter Schiff, with after so much years and years on end, Peter has been a true gold bug from the very beginning. I think I would say, and it's good to say for me, he's pretty much lost my listenership as time has gone on too, because he's now describing Bitcoin as a Dutch daisy scam. What he's pretty much has said on his show, and to me, I'm kind of losing more respect as time goes on too, and I can't stand how much he's putting down Bitcoin as this fake money. And at the end of the day, look, you can keep your gold, but gold hasn't gone up that high since things have shifted. And I'm sure I will get some gold as well. To me, this is the one thing I can't stand with the hardcore holders, between the gold holders as well, is they love to fight this monetary battle about who's worth it, and I cannot stand the battle. And and that's what loses me with people like that too, like Max Kaiser. Max Kaiser, he's a hardcore Bitcoin holder, but to me, I don't hold just that currency. I like to diversify myself and hold several things. Sure, will I like to hold more Bitcoin? Absolutely, I would. But my God, if you don't have the internet to rely on, then you're fucked. And don't get me wrong, I've been listening to Peter Schiff for more than 2 years right now too. And for him to put down Bitcoin is just off-putting, and he's lost me as a listenership. And I won't come and listen to him all the time, but for me, I love to see where his argument stands right now, where Bitcoin goes up to 10K by next year. And let's see how that goes for gold, because gold is, I'm sure it is good. The price is good right now too, but who knows if gold is going to go much higher. That's the question I have with Peter. Now, we're going to go and shift into another topic, which in the next topic, I want to go ahead and talk a bit more about my weeks right now and where am I at with the podcast. The podcast is still going to go on. and we're going to continue doing more podcasting next year. And who knows if I'm going to end up doing a holiday special podcast, a short podcast. We will definitely see where this goes, but I will let you know within the next episode. Who knows if I'm going to end up making an episode before the 23rd, because I know I'm going to have family coming over by next next week. So if you don't hear anything by Saturday or Sunday, then you know that I won't be able to get a recording done because family matters, of course. So looks like just will mention that since my uncle is going to be around my home for 4 days, I'm going to be spending some time with my mom and my uncle here at home. So having to make another episode will be a challenge and definitely need some quiet time. But who knows? I hopefully it won't be too bad. I'll try to make an episode when maybe if things were pretty much quiet. Who knows? Who knows? But getting on to the next topic, Twitch is now one of the big conversation piece of this week, and for good reason. Where you disagree with the news, I don't disagree with this whole announcement that Twitch made this week for streamers. And so this is going to be, oh my god, this is just flabbergasting to me. I will have to say, with so many people, sensitive people, I should say, I have to say this too. Now Twitch will be partly banning the word. Well, Kotaku, the way they're wording it is, Twitch partly bans the word simp, which I don't agree with 100%. And for me, I never find simp offensive, but for me, having to ban words, it's really off. It's really stupid. Let's just put it this way. This is the most dumb, wordy news that came from the community this week. And now, if you're a streamer like me, and that goes through using crazy words like this too, and simp, whore, incel, right? So these are three words they're looking to face punishment, right? And if you say these words, if the streamer say it or the user says it, then there's going to be a penalty on there, which doesn't absolutely makes no sense too. Absolutely makes no sense. And here's the thing with the Twitch announcements that came up over this week as well, where while I will say that when Twitch dealing with the DMCA issues, what they are doing is, instead of looking at the bigger picture right now, which Twitch should have just focused on the DMCA too. And I was looking over to Twitch's channel, and I was watching a pre-recording on this too. Mind you, I didn't watch this live because I don't have time to watch everything live from beginning to end after all my busy body schedule I got going on right now. And I just had to, this came to my attention from a streamer that was talking to me about this too. And look, no joke about it. Look it up yourself. In fact, this is going to be on Twitch's new guidelines by next year on January 22nd. And this is where I think comes down to censorship on words. And to me, as someone that lives in the first world, I know how people are going to act on the internet too. And I think this is definitely taking sides, and I don't agree with it all as well too, because for all I know, there's going to be users making up stupid words, making up memes that for me that doesn't mean much to me at all. And plus, I don't think it makes it really fair to ban users for saying the words or cut people off the community. Which, come on, if you gotta be real, where's the sense of all this? where's the outcry on this too? Who's asked for this? That's where I don't understand the bans on the words like simp, incel, and whore, right? I don't get this at all, and a lot of people are just pretty offended for no reason at all too. I'm sure that just a minority of people are screaming, raging minority of people asking for this too. Everybody did not ask for this. In fact, simp is actually a widely used words, the most used word on the internet right now, especially on Twitch chat. I see that all the time, and I didn't knew about the word simp since last year, right? I had no idea what the hell it was, and for me, and I know that the connotation for it isn't bad, but it isn't really a bad connotation on the word. And the way I watched the lady was that Sarah Clemens. God, I swear to God, she looked like a very ugly school teacher from I once knew years back. Oh gosh, just a horrifying COO. I mean, just a not a good picture to watch. But anyways, and so the way she said it, oh god, it was the most serious tone. We're gonna ban these words. It's like the most offensive words. It's like, okay, this is I think there's a line that comes crossing on this too. I don't like this, but is this really the biggest deal on Twitch right now? And even this year, the biggest deal right now, what Twitch should have had faced up on this was the DMCA issues that's going around on the community. Well, look, I to me, I have to be the one to say this, and to me, I had pointed out Harris wrong on a couple of things too, but right now I do believe he's right in his further proof on how he predicted the platform. Right now, there is nothing good to say about it too, and there'll be a point that probably people will just jump into YouTube to stream, and it's like, what's the point of having a stream on a platform that is going to enforce rules and guidelines that may not agree with your bullshit, right? And I'm sure that if people will make the argument is that Twitch is a private company, they can do whatever they want, but look, if it comes down to it too, look, Twitch is one of the most widely used platforms to stream, right? As of today, and it's actually I think it's actually much bigger than YouTube. A lot of people just use YouTube to upload videos, not for streaming. There's people that do, I'll take that back. There's tons of people that do use it for streaming, but Twitch is very, very wide known, and that's where it just gets to me. Is like, ooh, they're really slowly nailing themselves down the coffin. That's where I can't stand companies. They make up arbitrary dumb rules like this and ruins it for everybody else, right? It doesn't make sense. And to me, I don't even think the person that are watching this, I'm sure a lot of people are going to end up looking for alternatives. If it's not YouTube, then it's going to have to be something else. And that's how I see it. That's how I think I see it right there too. Because it's just funny how things are just taking a turn. In fact, what's that other platform I've actually streamed at one point when I did restream? I think it was called Smashcast. Though I don't like the name Smashcast. First it was called Hitbox, which now it's called Smashcast. But by the way, so I don't even know how the community is with Smashcast. What's the big deal? But I'm sure there's a lot of people are going to start fleeting elsewhere and say, this is going to get real stupid real fast. And look, and I get that Twitch is having a hard time bringing in people, and I'm sure that the staff is having a hard time dealing with the DMCA issues. But this should have, like I've said before, this should have been done a long time ago. And I've said this last month, and I will say this again, is that this will possibly put Twitch in the grave if they don't do something quick about it. But instead, they enforce on these sensorial words, these three awful words, which is simp, which is incel, and which is whore. Like, I have no problem saying whore, not at all. But I think there's so many people that say that, though, yes, there's people that say the word loosely. It is an offense, a very downright offensive word. But there's people like that. They do act like whores, if I could put it this way too. And to me, I will have to say, be that kind of person that's like, look, you could say what you want, but I mean, you know what? And to tell you the truth, we live in a free society that it gives people the power to say what they want, without having to be censored. And for a private company to do such ridiculous nonsense like this, I think it's a little bit too much right now too. I don't like where this is going as a platform. I think the platform is heading into a wrong direction, and I do believe Harris Heller is right. The the point that Twitch was in its prime was around 2017, 2018, and 19 at the time. I think even he said that it was declining around 2019, which it was starting to make its turn right now too. That I think Twitch's prime was at its best around the late 2010s, and I believe so right there too, as I'm seeing it right there in the face, right in front of my face. And it's just hard for me to say that this is getting wrecked right there real badly. Look, right now Twitch is pretty much now part of Amazon. And for me, Amazon could be putting money towards the company, towards Twitch division, and work out some deal with the DMCA and get this issue resolved. I don't understand where this is going, but unfortunately, they are going to a wrong direction, and I do see that over time they will not do so good. Yeah. So that's just my thing. I don't like it one bit, and I'm sure there are people are gonna have to look elsewhere, and probably some alternatives that people are gonna have to look for into switching, because otherwise we're definitely Twitch is definitely going to head to a bleak direction on their part right there too, because I don't know who the hell's running the division. I'm sure a bunch of virgins. Virgins. Yeah, actually I forgot too. Virgins, that word virgin, it's going to be censored as well. So don't expect anybody to use virgin to on Twitch chat as well. Yeah, right? God, what a ridiculous world we're living in now. Especially with COVID and all this stupid nonsense. And last of the story I will mention right there too. And as I've already gone with over Bitcoin, Twitch news, and lastly, and I know a lot of people are talking about the final steps of the vaccine, right? And I think this has to be said because I know that I know a lot of people aren't really getting into talking about COVID as much, but I think there's some things that does need to be said when it comes to COVID and the whole vaccine issues. Now, as of recent, and I think a lot of people are just getting into a point that they really want to get out. They want to go outside and visit their friends and family right there too. And hear what the televisions are saying, and all the medias are saying, oh, we may get back to normal in 2021. To me, my question is, since when we were normal, right? This is where I can't stand the term the new normal, right? Like if things before COVID was already any normal. No, it has not. No, it has not. It's where it's just getting really dumb with all this going on right here. I think a lot of people aren't really questioning about about the vaccines, right? And I sort of have a mixed feelings towards it, and I know that people I've talked to, they want to get it, and I myself, I'm not going to jump the gun onto it because I don't think there is no need for me to get it, and I don't. And I think a lot of people aren't seeing the bigger picture with the vaccines, or not taking a step or two back and say, "Hey, I want to know what's inside it too." And and I think a lot of people will kind of will end up mislabeling me as a conspiracy theorist on this too. Now, I definitely want to mention on the last show, this last part of the show right there is now whether you believe this or not, how you see about the vaccine right there too. And of all this being said too, I think it is very, very important to know, well, what are you going to end up putting into your arm? You know, that's going to be something that you want to take yourself consideration what you're going to end up doing too. And I've talked this with several friends on the internet. I know two of my friends overseas are going to take it, and to me, that if they want to do it, take the job. Don't care. But I think they're not thinking ahead of this right there too. As of myself, I'll tell you my reasons why I'm not going to take it, because for I myself, I think there are side effects onto the vaccine, and I do think this right there is being rushed. And this is, even though people say, or the FDA said they have proved this right there too, though you'll never know what you're gonna expect on things that have already been approved so fast in its advancement already too. And I know that I'm gonna weigh it off. I'm not. I don't even think I'm gonna take it. This is the thing about it, is that many of those vaccines do not work as promised, and a lot of people will say, "Oh, if the vaccines have worked for children before entering the public school, then why is it you're so afraid of doing it?" I'm not afraid of. I mean, I don't want to get any side effects along the way. And one of the biggest videos I've seen too as well, there's a lot of people are talking about this. I've watched things already that's been covered already many, many times. And a lot of people have looked into it into some degree. And I think a lot of people are not looking into a bigger picture that it will, what happens if this will hurt them in the long run and have long-term side effects, and it will be passed into their children as far as autism. I find it to be very, very dangerous, very much so. And there was a big video, and this video that's been going around the internet right now too, and I've been following up on it. And so it was I'd say one of the first hospitals on the United States, which there was a head nurse that took it, and the head nurse faints after vaccination, and she took the pretty much after 20 minutes later she passed out, and which however, she, with this nurse in this video, she passes out, and two of the doctors grab her too. And I don't even think many of these people seen it, except for about a few 100,000 people on the internet watching this. So I've kind of questioned, is this really, really the way to go? I think it would be foolish enough to take this and then having start to take then end up having side effects right afterwards. And this is something people are not even looking through this very, very carefully. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. So that's where I come to a stand on this too. And I won't go any further nor deeper onto the two. But however, you guys will make your own decisions about this too. I think a lot of things are crazy about this too. And one of the things I'd say and my last thing I would say, that if after all all this production with Pfizer and all these medical stuff that's being done already. My question is, what happens if the cure ends up becoming much worse than the disease on its own? See, a lot of people aren't even talking about this right there because they know that this is something people are even taking this account. So, see what I'm saying here? Things are starting to become very, very crazy along the way. And man, I think 2020 is definitely, it's giving people a lot to question about here in this decade, here in this age in 2020, now moving into 2021. There's going to be a lot of people are definitely going to refuse this and not going to take it. But I'm sure not after watching the nurses faint on this too. Yeah, it's getting very, very crazy. And plus, with the nurse right here, she was wearing a mask right there too, which I'm sure as a nurse, as in her profession, she had to wear the mask because, because of guidelines and rules, all that stuff right there. Oh, anyways, let me just put this podcast to rest. And for me, I'm so glad I done this podcast. It's been too long, and hopefully I won't take too long on my next podcast. And probably within the next few days, I'll end up uploading a brand new episode from here too. With that said, thank you so much for checking the podcast out. If you like what you've heard, please be sure to put a review on the podcast of your choice, whether it be iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, whatever it may be, wherever you listen to me on. Go ahead and put it in a review so that way, well, people can check it out. And by the way, too, be honest if you like this episode or not. I'd love to know. Well, with that being said, thank you so much for taking a listen. And I'll be back with another podcast again soon. Take care.